economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Remember when life was simple? Nope, me neither. The summer sun may feel great to us, but summer heat takes its toll on your vehicle. Don't risk your family's vacation fun by ignoring vehicle maintenance. When it comes to your vehicle maintenance or repair, keeping it simple is easy. The ASE certified technicians at Al's D&I can make sure your car is in top running condition. Maintenance now or fix it later. Most vehicles, most years, and most countries. Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank & Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank & Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank & Trust. Member FDIC.
Ever dreamed of building something amazing? Builders First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs is your go-to building materials partner. Whether you're building new or giving new life to an old space, we provide step-by-step guidance from drafting and cabinetry design to lifelike visualization and top-quality materials. It's your vision, and we're here to make it real. Visit BLDR.com. Builders First Source, your Black Hills partner in building every step of the way.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
It's the Thunder and Pacers in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, with the scene shifting to Indianapolis. Tip-off 8:30 Eastern Time as the series is tied up at a game apiece. The Mavericks today denied the New York Knicks permission to speak with head coach Jason Kidd about their head coaching vacancy. That's according to NBA insider Mark Stein. And reports say that the Knicks are now pivoting towards asking the Atlanta Hawks for permission to speak with head coach Quinn Snyder. Kevin Durant and his reps, along with the Phoenix Suns, are discussing possible trade options to get Durant out of Phoenix. ESPN says the Timberwolves, Spurs, Rockets, Heat, and Knicks are considered possible destinations. Raiders have signed former Bengals linebacker Jermaine Pratt to a one-year deal. While in baseball, Diamondbacks sweep the Mariners today by a score of 5-2. Blue Jays were 5-2 winners against the Cardinals. Pirates beat the Marlins 5-2. Phils over the Cubs 7-2. Guardians routed the Reds 11-2. Brewers won in Milwaukee 6-2.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, let's get rolling on a Wednesday. Welcome in. It's always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. Let's kick this thing off on a Wednesday. The Nate Brown Show is live. We are live on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show back and ready. I've got a great guest lineup tonight, from high school to college to the pros. Literally, high school, college, pros. We got you covered across South Dakota, across the country. Let's get some thought-provoking sports talk going. The most entertainment you'll experience over the next 2 hours. Lock it in and let's get going. All right, welcome in the Nate Brown Show live on Twitter right now, at Nate Brown Show. We are on Twitter. Follow us and watch us live, at Nate Brown Show. You've got us there. And one more place, YouTube channel. It's up and ready. Matt Kearney's got the production system going, man. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube, so you can watch us on YouTube. However you're listening or watching, welcome in. Hope you've had a great Wednesday. Good stuff tonight. Let's look at the guest lineup, and then we'll get right into the show. Chris Denker's on tonight, pro basketball scout, former D1 basketball coach, current AAU club director. A lot of hoops to talk with Chris Denker tonight. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. What does he say there? And then some reactions, some interesting talk about youth basketball and where we're at and where we're going from the NBA players. LeBron last week, and now Draymond Green on his new podcast this week. So a lot of discussion there. I want to get into it. Chris Denker's coming up. NetScoutsBasketball.com live from California. Sam Herder's in tonight, senior FCS analyst. A really good segment coming up with Sam on this House settlement case. There's a lot of news out there. What is USD and South Dakota State going to do? Are they going to opt in to the revenue sharing model from the House settlement? Or are they going to opt out and just kind of go as they planned? I am being told, and I want to clear this up because there's a lot of people saying, oh, this school's opting out, this school's opting in. I want to tell everybody tonight, USD, I just talked to John Schemmel on Monday, the AD for the Coyotes, and he said they're looking at a lot of stuff. They're thinking about opting in. They're thinking they got to work through a lot of stuff. There's not a final decision yet. So I just want to clear that up tonight. We'll talk to Sam Herder about it. How about on the SDSU side? I see, well, is SDSU going to opt out? They said before they were going to opt out. They haven't made a final decision. I don't know where that stuff is at, Cape. So I've sent a message to Justin Sell. He's a little bit busy, so I haven't got a comment yet. But as South Dakota State and USD have not decided officially with this new rule setup after the House settlement whether they're going to opt in or opt out. So they haven't made the final decision. That's what I know as of today. Okay, we'll get to it. Sam Herder's coming up, FCS analyst for Hero Sports. There's a new high school football coach, Rapid City Central. I want to talk to him, Mike McCulley. McCulley has been at Central before. Then he went to South Dakota Mines. He's been at South Dakota Mines, D2. He's been a cornerbacks coach for the Hard Rockers, and he's going to take the head football job now for the Central Cobblers as Brandon Colpitz is stepping down to become a volunteer assistant. So the new head coach for the Cobblers is on tonight, Mike McCulley, and that's coming up. All right, let's get you on 605-720-1067. Join the program, 605-720-1067. Hope you have the Pizza Ranch studio hotline in your phone, powered by the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, also in Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City. Stop by the best buffet, everyone's favorite buffet, the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. The studio hotline ready to go, and the Barron's Wilson text line open for you. The app's open. Direct text the show, your thoughts, question of the day answers, all that stuff. Barron's Wilson listener text line specifically for you, 605-720-1067. That's how you text the show directly. Okay, I don't hit on this a lot, but I've got a little bit of experience with it now. I've been through the deal, and I've had kids do this, and we've been right in the middle of this stuff. And so then I think about, what is the end product of this sport? What is the end finished product, the best of the best? What are we striving for in this sport in the USA? What am I talking about? You're wondering, what is happening here? We're not scripted this show here. This is all thought-provoking sports talk. I'm talking about the U.S. men's soccer team. You say, what? Soccer? Okay, there's some drama going on, and just in case you're not aware, I mean, there's a lot of drama, and people are trying to figure out what's happening here. I'm going to have a bigger question about this whole thing as I take this on, but soccer people out there, I'm talking to you, and even non-soccer people, what do you think of when you think U.S. men's national team? What do you think of? You know what my guess is? Man, we stink. It's not it's just, man, why can't we win in men's soccer? That's what it is. It's how does this keep on happening? And I bring it up because we played Switzerland. They're ramping up for this Gold Cup, okay? And then the World Cup's a year away. We're going to be hosting. I mean, this is a big thing. You're seeing promos on Fox and the whole thing. Everybody's excited about the World Cup and hosting the close location here, Kansas City and stuff like this. So they're ramping up for the Gold Cup. You got a bunch of players that aren't playing, Pulisic and others. They're not playing here in the summer. And so our team got smoked last night, 4-0. I mean, it was 4-0 within like 23 minutes. So they got smoked by Switzerland. We got the new coach, and people are always trying to figure out, is it coach? Is it players? What do we need? How do we make the U.S. men's national team the best of the best? How do we do this? Why are we in this situation in the USA? We've got the best of everything. The most resources, the most funding. I mean, we've got elite teams, elite clubs. We put money and resources and time into this. How can we not, out of a huge country, have a real deal U.S. men's national team? How does that happen? So I asked that question today. And I'm not going to talk about all the subs, and it was just the subs last night. I don't care who it is. Shouldn't we have shouldn't we have a pretty good bench? Like, we should have a pretty good team across the board, like really good. And so how have we not been able to do this? Beat a team from Europe forever. Get this thing going. It's just, well, this year's team, they're supposed to be good. You know, when all the good players come back for the World Cup, we're going to be really, really good. I'll believe it when I see it. So my point is there any other sport in America besides men's soccer that requires so much spending, so much money, resources? We develop youth, elite travel teams and clubs. We got a bunch of elite stuff across the country, and our U.S. men's national team is our finished product of that effort. The U.S. men's national team is the finished product, the best of the best from all these tournaments you guys go to. And we see all these clubs, and we're playing in this league and that league, and we win these tournaments, and everybody thinks, man, we are the real deal. But the finished product, we sit here on a Wednesday making excuses and wondering what's happened. I am wondering what has happened. What does happen? We put a ton of time in. We get the training, the clubs. You have to work your way through. You got to get to the elite this and that, and the Olympic Development Program, ODP. We know who that. You know what that is, right? We got ODP and all these kids from across the region. These are the best of the best. What happens to them? So I can't think of a sport on the men's side where all the money and the resources and this is the elite, the best of the best. We put a lot of time and effort into developing young kids from an early age. And the U.S. men's national team just still can't compete at a really high level consistently. We just got blasted last night. I don't care if it was without Pulisic and Dest and whoever else. I don't really care. And nobody else does. Nobody else across the country cares. They just expect the U.S. men's soccer team should be better with everything that goes into it from the youth level. Well, European teams, they do this too. I mean, that's their sport. Soccer's not our sport. That's their sport. Well, we rule in every other sport, essentially. What other sport do we put all this effort into and we're not good at? We're kings of basketball. We're kings of football, clearly. Baseball, we're right there. I know there's some lot of foreign players that have taken that on too, but we're still really, really good at these sports. U.S. men's national team, it's not like we're really, really good. It seems like we're not good. And these are the best 20 players in America. Where does it go? What happens? I don't have the answer, by the way. Let's see here. Listener text coming in on this. There's too many hands in the youth soccer leagues, and everyone fights over the glory of having their kids make it in soccer. Well, I understand, but that's the thing is, you know, I wonder if we kind of play in, well, I'm on this elite team, and I'm in this elite league, and we think we're really, really good, and I wonder if we really are. Maybe, but where does it go after that? That's the kicker is there how much politics enters that equation? I'm thinking quite a bit because I hear about all this whining. The team last year, I hear about Berhalter should have played this guy and his parents got upset. We're talking the U.S. men's national team, and the parents are still getting upset about a player not getting to play, and Berhalter essentially gets fired over stuff. It's like, where does the politics pull us back? Is that part of the equation? Maybe it is. I don't know. It's wild. I've never seen so much training and youth investment and the elite clubs and everything else that's taken control. They've taken a hold in America. We've got soccer for days. I mean, we've got so many kids playing soccer, yet the men's national team doesn't reflect the heavy investment and the heavy resources and all of the training and everything we put into it. Where does it fall through the cracks? Say, well, I mean, they choose the best players. I don't know. Maybe they should. Because it's like, how are our best players not as good as the small country's best players? How could that be? I can't figure it out. It's a mystery on this Wednesday. By the way, this transitions into something I want to discuss here on top of this. Do we lose great athletes in soccer, in basketball, whatever, these are sports I'm thinking of, because you just have kids fall through the cracks because they don't get in the elite club, they don't play and get that opportunity early. Do they just not pursue soccer then? Do we miss them? Do we get the best athletes all the way through in the development of a youth soccer player and into the best soccer player when they want to be at the level of the U.S. men's national team? How many athletes do we lose because of the soccer system? And the system is, well, I can't just go do ODP. That's the Olympic Development Program. I can't just go do that for nothing, right? Everything's how much is this going to cost? What's this going to look like? We got to travel here, travel there. I got to pay this fee, pay that fee. Do you lose players in that? And the reason I ask that is Draymond Green coming out on his podcast this week. Now, you may like Draymond, you may not. He always speaks his mind. He's kind of like the Charles Barkley of our age today. Draymond Green says basketball is now shifted. It used to be a sport for a guy like him from Saginaw, Michigan. Single mom, didn't have money, just played basketball. That was his way out. He got to Michigan State. The rest is history. But Draymond Green says basketball used to be a poor man's game. Now it's a rich kid game. It's because they're doing the training and those opportunities. So he was reacting to kind of what LeBron James said. It's like, hey, just go out there and play basketball. That's what LeBron said last week. We discussed that on the program. Now Draymond's reaction is basketball's not a poor man's game anymore. It used to be kids that were able to just go out there, roll the ball out, be unbelievably talented, get the opportunities, play in high school, and then you get to college and look at all these NBA players. Now Draymond said it's turning it, even basketball now is turning it. He says it's a rich kid game, not a poor man's game. He called it Robin Hood in reverse. Robin Hood in reverse. You got to have the money to be able to pay for the training, to be able to pay to play on this team. And those are the kids that end up reaching the highest success, even in basketball. Do we buy that? Do we buy that? Does that relate even to soccer? Let me throw out a question of the day for you tonight on the Nate Brown Show as we get started. I think it's a legitimate question to think about because I'm in the middle of it. I've been in the middle of it with young kids the past 16 years. And so I've been right in the middle of it. I've seen a lot of it. Have I made the right decision on this or that every time? Probably not. We started this kid too late. We started this kid too early. Dude, should we get on this team or that team? What if we're not on this team? Is it going to be the end of the soccer career? And if I'm wondering it, do we actually have kids that fall through the cracks that can't decide to pay for this or pay for that and get in this and get in that? There's affordable opportunities, I understand, but does the kid that just plays at the YMCA find his way to the NBA? Does that happen now, today, in the USA? Draymond's kind of saying he doesn't think so because they're not getting the training, they're not getting the elite coaching, they're not doing that. It's a rich kid's game, not a poor man's game, like when he said he was coming up. That wasn't that long ago. Today in the USA, do you believe kids actually have to have money to make it in sports? Deep thoughts on the Nate Brown Show tonight. I think it's an interesting question. What would be your answer? You have to have money to play, to train, to get the opportunities, or no? Kids will make it with plenty of opportunities anyway. I do want to say, it does matter what sport you're talking about. It does matter. Hockey, expensive, right? I mean, I haven't had kids playing hockey. I know people that do. You got to have, the some dollars to participate, especially in South Dakota, popping around tournaments and the whole thing. So soccer, fees, basketball, volleyball, hockey, Little League baseball. I was just talking to a buddy. One of the sports, the only sport I played as a little kid was Little League baseball. We didn't get into basketball till school time. I wasn't playing basketball as a third grader. I was just playing down at the street, down at the park. But I wasn't playing on teams as a third grader. Now kids are. What are the other kids doing that aren't paying to play in a club in third grade? What are they doing, and where do they go? Well, by the time they get to school, are they still playing? How good could they have been by sixth grade? So this is interesting, the shift. Today in the USA, do you believe kids have to have enough money to reach success in sports? That's my question of the day. I'd appreciate your answers on the text line if you can shoot them in. Today in the USA, do you actually believe kids have to have money to reach success in sports? Draymond Green says basketball used to be a poor man's game. Now it's a rich kid's game. 59% of you say you have to have money to reach great success in sports today. This is on Twitter. Send it in on the text line as well, 605-720-1067. Do you have to have money to reach great success in sports? This is an interesting scenario tonight. 59% of you say yes, pay to play and get the training. 41% of you say no, you can still get plenty of opportunities. Listener text, how many minority tennis players and golfers do you see? That's another interesting one. See, I think it's a real thing. It depends on the sport. I think football's been pretty sheltered from this for the most part. I know you can play youth football and the fees and stuff, but I think it's been pretty sheltered. Football's still a really heavy high school thing. That's how you get to college. Basketball, pretty much, but if you're not an AAU team, are you taken seriously? Are you taken seriously as a basketball player if you're not on an AAU team? My guess is not. Are you taken seriously as a soccer player if you're not on a club team? My guess is not. Chris Denker coming back with him. He's good on this stuff. He's an AAU club director in California. This is his wheelhouse. Former D1 college coach as well at Santa Clara. Chris Denker live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To stand together. Great.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Your home deserves a better hello. Swing into summer with a brand new entry or patio door. Get 20% off every door plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Enjoy an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. That's up to 25% in savings on an upgrade your home will thank you for. But hurry, these hot summer deals won't last long. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
City forecast. Cloudy skies expected tonight with a slight chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 56. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 69. Slight chance for storms tomorrow night, 56. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 78.
Mr. Liquor 2 would like to thank the thousands of customers who've purchased spirits in their new location off Catron since they opened in mid-November. Join the crowd who's discovered the unmatched selection of spirits, beers, and wines. Order from their 20 draft beers in the adjoining Campfire Bar and enjoy it while you shop. Plus, keep up to date on in-store beverage tastings and food truck appearances on the Mr. Liquor Facebook page. Thank you again for your business from the new Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron next to Walmart or their original location on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker, Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. This is going to be the Brian Wilson Tribute Show. Have you ever seen a guy as good as Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys? I don't know. Somehow my brother got me on the Beach Boys a long time ago. He listened to it like every day. Summertime. Brian Wilson passing away today, 82 years old. Brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. A visionary. Pop music, never the same. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson, one of the all-timers, like one of the all-timers. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in. Let's go to Chris Denker, pro basketball scout, netscoutsbasketball.com. He's also an AAU club director and former D1 college coach. He's on X at Chris Denker, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show, courtesy of the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Chris, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Nate.
I appreciate it, man. I want to get into the NBA Finals coming up, but I want your thoughts on something because this is right in your wheelhouse. You're a club director. You've had kids going through here playing college basketball. Draymond Green reacted to LeBron James talking about how basketball and youth basketball is changing. Draymond Green says basketball used to be a poor man's game. Now it's a rich kid game. Now it's a rich kid game because of the training. They're all doing the same thing. Do you believe you have to have money to reach the pinnacle of basketball?
You know, it's a really interesting point, and a lot of it I agree with. I saw those statements as well. And where kind of my interpretation of it is that nowadays, and I think, Nate, you and I have spoken about this on the show before, about how kids don't go out and play on their own, and there's been discussion over the years as to why are guys like Luka Doncic or Nikola Jokic and other international players thriving so well at the highest of levels like the NBA, and it's because of the development at the grassroots level and coming up, and it's the way they've been taught the game, learned the game, how they've played it at a young age, and then of course they had, physical tools and talent to go with it as they got, older and matured. But that being said, what are we doing here in the United States? Well, and the NBA even partners, with USA Basketball and with the AAU, in terms of certifying coaches and all these little things that they do to kind of help grow the game. But at the end of the day, what kids are doing is they're paying to play. They're not going to the park and playing. They're not going to YMCAs. I don't know about your area, but out here in California, there really aren't even that many YMCAs anymore that have gyms where even, you know, adults could go play pickup games. There used to be a lot more boys and girls clubs, not so much anymore. You know, but just playing at the playgrounds and things of that nature. 1-on-1, 2-on-2 on the street with your buddies at the hoop on your, you know, in your neighborhood. You just don't see that as much anymore. And so what are they doing? Well, you know, they're paying exorbitant fees to play AAU or to get a trainer. Now there's two sides there, right? At least with the trainer, I think in theory you're getting skill work. But let's face it, a lot of the times with the trainer, it's a one-on-one situation where you're the kid with the ball. And so then when they go play even 3-on-3, but 5-on-5, 4 of you don't have the ball. And so now what do? They don't have any understanding of how to play the game unless they're actually dribbling it. And they can't, you know, be a playmaker, meaning assist and pass to others or make others better. And so that's become problematic over the years because everybody just wants to dribble the ball. And again, you know, going back to the point, which is they have to pay a lot of money to these trainers. There's a club, not mine, but there's a club here in the Bay Area that for a couple of months and some AAU tournaments and 2 practices a week, they pay $5,000. So they pay big money. So therein lies Draymond's point.
Okay, I just had a former AAU club director in South Dakota respond to me. And he said, to my question, I said, do you have to have money to reach the pinnacle in sports? I didn't specifically say basketball, but I was talking about even soccer, the U.S. men's national team, and kind of the debacle there. Do we have the best of the best, and what is our best? AAU club director in South Dakota told me, if you have talent in a sport superior to others, money is never a factor. So money is never a factor. But then how do you find those kids? They're paying the AAU club to play. Well, what's he talking about? If you have talent superior to others, money's never a factor.
Well, yeah, and he's right. I mean, you know, they always say, look, if you've got some talent, the schools will find you, the coaches will find you. But nowadays, where are they going to go recruiting? And I can tell you, I mean, my own boys play college basketball. Where do the coaches go to recruit? To the Nike EYBL tournaments, to the, you know, Adidas tournaments, the Shoe Run tournaments, which are what? AAU tournaments, you know, or quasi-club tournaments. So if you're not playing in those, you're going to have to solely get recruited by your high school team, and, you know, you're going to have to develop to get there, and all the other kids are playing in AAU tournaments, and where are you going to go play, you know, scrimmage games? Where are you going to get chances to play pickup games? And so, you know, that's a problem. I agree with him, you know, on a sort of a basic level. If a kid's got a lot of talent in any sport, eventually the cream will rise to the top and somebody will notice you. But again, if we go back to where are guys recruiting nowadays? Well, it's at these AAU tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because Al McGuire once said, way back in the day, he said, you know, I don't recruit guys who have grass in their front yard. And if you think about it, he means, you know, I want guys from the mean streets. I want Chicago, New York. I want these tough guys who have had to grow up and play ball on a playground against older guys, get beat up a little bit, and really learn how to play. But, you know, that's a recruiting philosophy. But I think also what he's saying, it kind of applies to what Draymond said, which is, you know, you don't have to have a lot of money to go to the local park and go get a game. But, I mean, I drive by my local parks all the time. There's never games going on, and it's really sad to see.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I have a daughter who plays basketball. I coach her, but then she's getting basketball training right now as I speak. I mean, she's getting basketball training. So I think about this because you just said it. Where do the coaches recruit? What Draymond's saying is, well, now it's a rich kid game, meaning high school basketball. It's great. Do you get recruited out of there? Well, maybe a little bit, but if you're not an AAU player, are you going to be taken seriously? If you're not a club soccer player, are you going to be taken seriously? That's my question.
Well, and there's and again, I can only speak to California, but this is, you know, one of the biggest states around in size and population, and in terms of, you know, opportunities for kids to play. Now, I'm only speaking to basketball, but I know it's very similar in terms of football and whatnot. And that is, in basketball, there are not any what I would call youth leagues, developmental leagues, at least in our area, anymore. They've all gone away. And some of them were still in existence up to COVID, and then for whatever reason, after COVID, the ones that were here disappeared. And what I mean by that is those were leagues where you'd pay $250, you'd get a jersey, you'd get an hour a night. Usually you had a dad coaching you for 1 or 2 nights a week and then play a game on the weekend. But at least it was some structured basketball, and you could play. Well, nowadays that isn't even an option. I remember when I was a kid, I think we paid $30 to play in the local, kids sports program. Right. And nowadays, what are those programs? Those are AAU programs. I also remember, Nate, and maybe you were this way, but, I quote-unquote paid to play, where I remember mowing lawns to raise money so that I could go to the University of Oregon basketball camp for a week. And so you'd go, but then that's where you'd learn some more things about the game. You'd have a college coach or a college player coaching your team, which was cool. And then you'd go home and you'd practice the things that you learned on your own. Well, nowadays everything's got to be scheduled, structured, planned. And, parents drop them off and then pick them up later. And it's sad to see.
I'm with you on that. My week-long camp was University of Wyoming, Chris. University of Wyoming.
There you go.
Head coach Larry Shiat. You remember that?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Larry Shiat at Wyoming. That's the one I went to. Okay, let me jump to the finals. What is your perspective on the Draymond Green conversation on youth basketball? Chris Dinkers on NetScoutsBasketball.com. What are the chances for the Pacers right now? Game 3 tonight. They came back in a frenzy in Game 1. They got handled down double digits in Game 2 the whole time. What do you say Game 3 tonight? What do you think of this matchup now that you've seen it?
Yeah, interesting. I have a couple of thoughts. I think you're going to see their best tonight. Coming back home, it's the third game. They've both seen each other. Adjustments have been made. They're going to be more tonight. And then they're going to have a crowd behind them, and it's the finals, and then this crowd's going to be juiced. So I think if you're going to see a good performance by the Pacers, it's going to be tonight. And I think over the long haul, over a 7-game series, they need it. They're going to need to get tonight, I think. Now, that said, it's been interesting to observe, and obviously, as you said, it's 1-1. Oklahoma City looked significantly better, stronger in Game 2 in terms of just in comparison, eye test over the Pacers. They look like the better team. But it is 1-1 in the series, and so then you say, well, why? I really think it's interesting in that, there's star power in both teams, and obviously the MVP at OKC, but I think it's about the supporting cast. Oklahoma City's depth, and really even the Pacers throughout the playoffs, they've had good depth. But in this series so far, in just the 2 games, the depth that OKC is getting from guys coming off the bench, Caruso has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Isaiah Hartenstein has been really good. Even when he doesn't score tremendous, he'll get 8 or 10 rebounds, 4 or 5. He's a really good passer for a big guy, 4 or 5 rebounds. They got a great performance from the Wiggins kid the other night. I think he had 16 or 18, and these guys were phenomenal off the bench with really quality minutes. And Shea only took 23 shots, something like that. Whereas in Game 1, when they lost, albeit by 1 point, but he had like 30 or 32 shots, and there wasn't the balance, there wasn't the bench, compared to this particular game. And then you look at the other team, it's the same way. When they don't get performances, Siakam hasn't been great. He needs to really be a star. He needs to be, him and Halliburton. Nembhard, I think, only got like 8 shots in the last game. And so then you go, okay, well, what are you getting off the bench? Well, Obi Toppin was not there in Game 2. He was like 1 for 9 or 1 for 8. And in Game 1, I want to say he made more threes than anybody in the ball game. I think he made 5 for 7, 5 for 8 threes. He's obviously a big-bodied guy. McConnell always gives you, 10, 11, 12 points, a lot of assists and hustle and defense. The position that they come off the bench with either Mathurin or Shepard, Mathurin hasn't been real good for me in my taste. So I just think it's the support. I think these guys have to, it's 8 on 8 kind of thing, and they're, some of these other guys are going to need to step up. I don't think OKC can just plan on, 40 from Shea, but you also can't, when you're a Pacer guy, thinking that Halliburton's going to get you 36 or whatever.
Do you like the Pacers tonight or no?
Yeah, I think they can win tonight. I mean, I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch, but again, because of the things working in their favor in terms of crowd, and it is 1-1, they shouldn't feel demoralized just because they lost a game by 16. I mean, they should have a strong. I think they can come out and put forth their best effort. I think they can win tonight.
I've been liking these games. OKC Pacers Game 3 tonight. Chris Denker on tonight. Last quick one. I'll let you run since you've been a college coach, Chris. So challenge system's going to be used now. No more automatic reviews the last 2 minutes for 30 minutes of a game. Coach's challenge. Do you like it? Would you have liked it as a coach?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think it is probably good that they're putting in some more criteria for it because it's starting to get out of control. It's really out of control at the pro level, I think. And I saw something the other day that somebody said, whenever a guy raises his hands into sort of a T formation, which is the timeout signal, you're awarded a timeout. That they should do the same thing for the challenge. Every guy on every foul now in the NBA is turned to the bench and given the twirly finger thing. They should just immediately call timeout and assign it. And that way guys would stop doing it. It's getting out of control. But at the college level, at least they're trying to put something, in place. I think under 2 minutes, as I read correctly, they'll still, go and look at things like ball out of bounds. The officials always say, if you ever listen to officials, or read postseason reports and things, you'll see where at the college and pro level they say that the hardest call for them is ball out of bounds. You and I are going for the ball, and it goes out of bounds. It's hard to see who it went off of, which hand it went off of, etc.
Right.
And, so that one they're still probably going to look at late in games, but the rest of it, I'm glad they're kind of minimizing it because it can really impact the game.
Chris Denker on tonight. Great perspective. NetScoutsBasketball.com, Pro Basketball Scout. Chris, good to have you, man. Enjoy Game 3 tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nate.
See ya. Chris Denker on tonight, courtesy of the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, live, NetScoutsBasketball.com. He's an AAU club director in San Jose. Chris Denker, former D1 coach at Santa Clara. Good basketball perspective. Yeah. Brought back some good memories. I went week-long camp, University of Wyoming. I was this star from the state of Montana. No, anyway. University of Wyoming, good stuff. Played in the Arena Auditorium, right there on the home floor of the Pokes. Head coach Larry Shiat made a few appearances. Good stuff. Listener text coming up on a camp here in South Dakota. Listener text, I went to the Hanson Anderson camp at 12 years old in Huron. Full room and board, top camp in 87. Only West River kid there. All right. Way to rep West River. Or did you rep West River? I mean, did you do a good job? All right. Sam Herder's in next. Let's talk about this House settlement case. There's a lot of stuff being thrown around what South Dakota State and what USD are going to do. Are they going to opt in or are they going to opt out? They said they were going to opt out, but now they might opt in. No decision has been made yet, but let's break down what revenue sharing with college athletes might look like for the Yotes and the Jacks. Sam Herder from Hero Sports, FCS senior analyst next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Headed to the 85th Sturgis Rally? Make the ride even better with a stay at Cadillac Jackson Deadwood. Relax in style with 3 top-notch hotels. Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, Doubletree, and True by Hilton. Plus, enjoy 4 eateries and Deadwood's largest casino floor. Mention this ad and receive an exclusive Gambler's Getaway that includes a $20 food and beverage credit, $30 in Cadillac cash, and 2 free drink tickets. Book your rally stay today at Cadillac Jacks. Call 605-578-1500.
Hey golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at ElkhornRidgeResort.com.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail. Make sure your vehicle is ready to handle the warm months ahead. Being a AAA and ASE certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that. Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle. And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button. What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait. Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
Like California.
Tribute to the great Brian Wilson passing away today, 82 year old. What a guy. And Beach Boys, the real deal, right? If you didn't like the Beach Boys, we got problems. The Nate Brown Show is live. Fox Sports Radio, Wednesday edition of the program. Busy tonight. Mike McCulley's coming up. We'll talk to the Rapid City Central head football coach. He's just taken over for the Cobblers there. So that's a tough program to get going. They've had their struggles. We know that. So how about Mike McCulley? What's his story? We'll talk to him. Rapid City Central head football coach coming up next hour. Sam Herder's in tonight, senior FCS analyst for HeroSports.com. Find him on X. Follow him if you're not. You have to at Sam Herder FCS. You want to stay plugged in on the FCS? That's Sam Herder FCS. And he joins us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Sam, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate the time, man. So it's an interesting time for these FCS schools and really for everybody. The House settlement happens last Friday night, late in the night, and then people on the weekend are like, oh, what happened? And now I'm talking to FCS athletic directors. I had USD's John Schemmel on Monday. They're thinking about opting in. Now, he said they're still a ways away from a decision, and they have some time on this, but there's some interesting thoughts out there. People are confused. Who's opting in? Who's opting out? South Dakota State said they were opting out. Well, no. They're thinking about opting in as well. So when you think about FCS programs like USD, SDSU, NDSU, maybe even UND, do you think ultimately they're going to decide to opt in because the roster limits thing looks like it's been negotiated where they don't have to cut players? Do you think that's where we're going to land?
Yeah, it seems momentum is kind of moving toward these teams opting in. If one was to opt out or remain opting out, it seems like South Dakota State might be leaning toward remaining to opt out of this. But I think just with the deadline continually getting pushed back on whether to opt in or not has resulted in schools being able to look at things a little bit closer and kind of get things organized and kind of think on things a little bit more. Grandfathering in the roster limits also helps, quite a bit. just because, for some schools like Montana State, they don't actually have to cut a whole lot of roster spots because their rosters across the athletic department were already, right around where the roster limits are going to be. But for some other schools, especially at the mid-major where they use athletics to kind of boost the enrollment, if you cut 50, 60 roster spots, that's 50, 60 less students paying tuition. And with enrollment issues kind of across the country, that is something universities overall don't want to do. And so being able to grandfather in these roster spots, I think is a really good thing. Now, eventually those roster spots are going to go away in 3, 4, or 5 years, but at least you get a little bit of a leeway now with these, roster spot cuts.
So let's say USD opts in. I don't know if that's going to be the case. John Schemmel and I have been going back and forth. He's doing a lot of work here. They're looking at the border regions, talking to them what this all means, revenue sharing, and how that would work for USD with their college athletes. Why wouldn't SDSU opt in here? I'm trying to figure out. They were concerned about having to cut players, like some walk-on speed like this. Justin Sell said maybe up to 75 players if they had these roster limits so strict. Well, if that goes away, why would South Dakota State be one that would opt out?
Yeah, it's a good question, especially if South Dakota State's plan was we're not going to opt in this first year, but the second year, next year, we will opt in. I think that was a fine stance to have, but now with being able to grandfather in these roster spots, you can do that this year, but if you don't opt in this year, but you opt in next year, does that grandfathering in ability still stand? Like, those are questions we don't really know right now. And so, I guess I don't, besides, the roster cuts, I don't have a specific reason on why South Dakota State would decide not to opt in. Now, are they going to fall super far behind if they're the only Dakota school not to opt in? No, because chances are, these other schools aren't going above 63 football scholarships by that much, if at all. I mean, the Missouri Valley Football Conference could very easily set the cap and keep the cap at 63 football scholarships. And so South Dakota State is not going to fall behind from a scholarship perspective. Is USD or Montana State or UND, North Dakota State, are they going to be revenue sharing millions of dollars? No, because they don't have that revenue. And so South Dakota State is not going to fall behind if they don't opt in this year and they opt in next year. But you do pose a good question of, why not just opt in this year? If you're going to do it next year, you might as well do it this year because of those grandfathering in abilities.
I do have a message to Justin Sell directly, and he hasn't responded yet on where is this standing right now. I know USD is actively working on the decision to opt in or not. SDSU, as far as I know today, has not made a decision on what they're going to do with this revenue sharing model from the House settlement. Do you think a USD, NDSU, let's just use them for example, can they afford to revenue share? Now, I know it's not the $20 million like the big boys, but can they afford to take away from the budget and revenue share, whatever percentage that is? These budgets seem awfully tight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be much. If they can get some sort of donations or something to help with some of the revenue sharing, that could boost it up a little bit. But you can opt in and revenue share $0 if you want to. Like, revenue sharing is not mandatory. The only thing that is, I guess, mandatory is you can't go over the cap, which is $20.5 million. There's some group of 5 teams I think Boise State is around like maybe $8 to $10 million of revenue sharing. James Madison is maybe a few $1 million they're going to be able to revenue share. But, how much money is there for USD to really revenue share with their players, or Montana State or NDSU? You ask all these, athletic departments, and there isn't any extra money laying around for that. All the money they get through, whether it's the state, the institution, the school itself, donors, ticket sales, all that money they get is going back into just operational costs and scholarships and coach salaries and travel and all that. And so there's not $2 million just laying around for USD to directly share with its players. But can they move some money around? They certainly can. Maybe they put a little less towards facilities. Maybe their nutrition bar, the type of meals they have for their nutrition bar, maybe that takes a step back a little bit. Maybe, if they hire a new coach, maybe they pay them just a little bit less. And so they're taking a little bit of money from here, from there, from here, and they put that toward this revenue sharing money pot or whatever you want to call it. But again, how much is that going to be? Is that even going to eclipse $1 million? I really don't know. I don't think FCS schools are going to be revenue sharing a whole lot, if I'm being honest with you.
Very interesting. Sam Herder talking House Settlement, senior FCS analyst for HeroSports.com. Sam, from a football side or a basketball side, there's this new college sports commission that's going to be created out of this. Third-party entity. They're going to evaluate what is fair for an NIL payment, essentially. What's fair? So will this help a USD not lose starting offensive linemen because Cincinnati says, hey, you're going to come over here, I'll pay you $250,000 for the season. Is this commission going to say, nah, that's not right?
I think it could. I think it'll go multiple ways here. I still think it's going to be difficult for the FCS and even more difficult for the Group of 5 programs to hang on to their top stars, just because the Power 4 has so much money. And while these NIL deals are going to go through a clearinghouse, now there's an additional $20.5 million that these Power 4 schools can directly revenue share with players, and so there still is that high-end money out there. But the examples that we saw this spring, where you hear, whether it was basketball or football or even baseball, just these crazy NIL offers being out there, and the reason they were so high was because they were kind of front-loading these, knowing some of the deals they were offering were not going to make it past this clearinghouse because, what is market value? How do you determine that? I don't know exactly, but is paying a backup offensive lineman $200,000, and the only thing they need to do to earn that NIL is, one public appearance. Maybe they go read at the local elementary school, and maybe they do 3 social media posts, a month, and they play 300 or they play 200 snaps in the football season. Like, is that worth $250,000? I'm guessing the market is going to look at that NIL contract and go, we're going to deny this because this is just not adding up. And so I do think it'll help in that sense. But there's just so much money out there still that it's still, I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was this spring, but it still will be difficult to hold on to your top players if you're not one of those Power 4 schools.
Boy, this will be interesting to see how this plays out. As of now, we're hearing some teams maybe leaning towards opting in. No final decisions yet. I saw up in North Dakota, maybe NDSU and UND might be doing it. The revenue sharing model opting into this deal. USD hasn't made a decision. South Dakota State hasn't made an official decision. We'll see where this goes. Sam Herder covering it, HeroSports.com for the best coverage on the FCS. Sam, good to have you, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, as always. Sam Herder in on tonight on the Nate Brown Show, HeroSports.com, senior FCS analyst. Sam Herder on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. So one of the benefits, people say, well, this is all confusing. Why would SDSU and USD maybe opt in? Maybe opt into the NCAA House Settlement. Well, one of the big takeaways I got, they could have then donors support the school directly. No more of the collective piece or the third-party piece. You could give the money to the school, tax deduction there for the donor, and then even though they couldn't use that direct money, that could fund the athletic department budget, and they could help revenue share from ticket sales, sponsorships, things like that. That's where it's just pots of money. So maybe opting in, you get donors to support the school directly. You have more control over that. Hey, here's the money coming in. How are pots of money going to work? Can we revenue share off of sponsorships and ticket sales? Does this ramp up more giving from our donors? Now maybe their money means more. Does it? Would you be more willing to donate to the Yote Fund, the Jackrabbit Fund, because your money goes directly now and the athletic department's revenue sharing with the athletes? Would you be more willing to donate money that way? Streamline the process? Other than, how are you using my money? This and that. I think this is going to have to be transparent. I mean, they're going to have to say, here's how we're revenue sharing, here's the percentage, here's how this is working. I think people are going to want that. That would be interesting. Would that open up more support from donors? Quick timeout. We got to move. Quick timeout. Coming back with a question of the day. Do you have to have money to reach the ultimate success in sports in the USA today? We'll look at it next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Your home deserves a better hello. Swing into summer with a brand new entry or patio door. Get 20% off every door plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Enjoy an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. That's up to 25% in savings on an upgrade your home will thank you for. But hurry, these hot summer deals won't last long. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Cloudy skies expected tonight with a slight chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 56. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 69. Slight chance for storms tomorrow night 56. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 78.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear. Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. Today's online-only auction has something for everyone. We have pallet racking, assorted tools, ammunition, decorative branding irons, artwork, furniture, collectibles, commemorative belt buckles, and much more. Final auction preview today from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. The items are located at our office, 3640 Campbell Street in Rapid City. For more auction details and to bid and buy on today's online-only auction, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show live Wednesday edition of the program. Glad to have you on board tonight. Hope you've had a great day. How are you doing? Good? Solid day? It's always a great day in South Dakota. We know that. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio across the state. Follow us on Twitter. Watch us at Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show live on your phone right there at Nate Brown Show. Text line open for you as always, 605-720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line, 605-720-1067. Let's take a look at the question of the day update on things. So Draymond Green said Basketball used to be a poor man's game. Now it's a rich kid game. You got to pay for the training, the club team, the opportunities. He said he was just growing up, Saginaw, Michigan. That's how he got out of being poor. Made it to Michigan State, and, of course, now the NBA. LeBron James touched on this as well last week. He was on Steve Nash's podcast, and LeBron said, kids just got to go play. You got to go play. You don't have to have a trainer and stuff like this, but does Draymond Green have a point? Basketball is a rich kid's game now. Let me throw that out in a question of the day. Today in the USA, do you believe kids have to have enough money to ultimately reach great success in sports? There's training going on. You have to have money to be on teams. The whole thing. There's still some rec stuff going on, too, in South Dakota. The YMCA and stuff like that. But I just wonder if you are taken seriously, can you still get college scholarships just playing high school basketball? That's a real question I have today. Can you? I mean, I'd like to somebody tell me, I didn't play AAU basketball, but I still went and played D1. I played D2. Can you do that now still? Or do you have to have money to reach the ultimate success in sports? Question of the day, deep thoughts on the Nate Brown Show. Some interesting answers coming in. Let's go to the poll results. 56% of you are voting yes. Today in the USA, you have to have money to reach the ultimate success in sports. 56% of you, yes, because it's pay to play and training. 44% of you know there's still opportunity for everyone. Well, we're trying to think positive. Listener text, no, you don't have to have money. It's overrated. Just play. So the training's overrated. But here's the thing. Can every kid get the opportunity to reach the success point? And this also came out from the U.S. men's national team, the soccer thing that's going on. We never can reach the ultimate success in men's soccer. We have so much investment, so much resources, so much time in the elite clubs and the elite youth soccer players, and we go in all of these leagues and we play all over the country. And how do we not have the best of the best? Our finished product of U.S. men's national soccer is not at the highest level. I mean, we're getting beaten by teams, and not just because we had players missing last night. We've been beaten by teams before. So do kids fall through the cracks if I can't play for this team or get on this team? That's kind of what I think Draymond's saying, too. It's a rich kid's game because, you know, the best kids now are the ones that have the socioeconomic background of getting the training and getting the opportunities. Very interesting. 56% of you agree, essentially say, today in the USA, you have to have money to reach great success in sports. 56% of you are answering that question. Coming right back into the second hour. It's a Wednesday, so we got 5 questions from Chris tonight. How we doing there, Chris? You ready? You've got 5 sent my way, so I've got them. And by the way, speaking of the college sports landscape, Jay Billis. Do we want to believe Jay Billis when he says stuff? I mean, sometimes I'm like, Jay, do you just say stuff to fire people up? Jay Billis has said there won't be hardly any more transferring in college sports. The magic pill. We'll talk about it next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Steel, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer from Denny Menholt Toyota. Use your phone. It's fast and easy. Pull up our website, click on Value Trade-In, scan your VIN, and tell us about your car. You are on your way to a no-hassle, no-commitment cash offer on your vehicle in under 5 minutes. Bring your vehicle and your Kelly Blue Book Instant Cash Offer to Denny Menholt Toyota and get cash or trade-in credit today. See you soon at Denny Menholt Toyota, Rapid City.
Hi, I'm Tim Wrench, and I'm seeking personal injury cases. If you've been injured because someone else did something wrong, call me up. I'm a trial lawyer. I've tried criminal and civil cases for decades, and I can use all of that experience to help you. I also know this, that when insurance companies know that you're represented by a trial lawyer, they take your claim more seriously, and if it is to be settled, it's settled better with a trial lawyer. Wrench Law, 605-341-1111, wrenchlaw.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Have you ever really thought about how important your front door, and every entry door into your home for that matter, really is? That door provides security for your family and so much more. The wait is over. Ensemble Doors by Renewal by Andersen have arrived. These awesome secure doors have timeless style, elegant features. They can be customized countless ways with the legendary quality of Renewal by Andersen. Right now, Renewal by Andersen is offering an incredible value on Ensemble entry doors. You get 20% off every Ensemble entry door. No money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. No payments for a year. Ensemble entry doors by Renewal by Andersen are just so much better. They're built with the best quality materials, including Renewal by Andersen's exclusive Fibrex, which has been tested to deliver enhanced security, certified performance, and lasting beauty. Please visit RBARapidCity.com now. That's RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate. Ensemble entry doors. The wait is over.
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Oh, it is the Nate Brown Show tonight. Welcome in. Wednesday edition of the program. We're rolling on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show live every afternoon drive. If you can't listen on the radio, you can take us with you on your phone. Follow us on X at Nate Brown Show. So if you've got an X account, follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. So you've got us there. YouTube channel is live right now. Saying hi to everybody watching live in studio. The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Second hour of the program. What's on tap? Mike Mendelson is on tap tonight. He's the Elkhorn Ridge Golf Pro, PGA Pro, talking U.S. Open coming up. U.S. Open starts tomorrow. How tough's this going to be? Tough course. I like the U.S. Open. Makes these guys look human, right? Like you and I. Not quite, but close. What's on tap on the Nate Brown Show? Brought to you by the new Campfire Bar at Mr. Liquor 2. 20 South Dakota brews on tap right now, and live sports. Game 3 tonight of the NBA Finals. Watch it live. Stop into Mr. Liquor 2, South Dakota's best and biggest liquor store with the new Campfire Bar and great patio for the summer off Catron Boulevard. What's on tap on the Nate Brown Show? That's what's on tap. Hey, let's get going. We got 5 questions from Chris coming up. Hang on, our fan favorite weekly hitter. 5 questions from our loyal listener, Chris. First, I want to get into this really quick. Jay Billis, ESPN college basketball analyst. I do like listening to Jay. He's got some interesting thoughts on college sports. It's not. I don't think he does it just to rile people up like Hot Take Central. A lot of his insights are interesting. He's now said, due to this House settlement where players are going to get revenue sharing, so now you're going to have $20.5 million per year at some of these big universities. They're going to get revenue sharing. Jay Billis says this is going to have a benefit. He said, you're going to be able to sign players to contracts. Yeah, so you're going to be, he thinks, what if we do multi-year contracts? So this is going to now create contracts with players, and then he thinks you're going to have to put buyouts in there, and he says no other university is going to pay a buyout for a player. So he thinks the benefit is these players aren't going to go anywhere anymore. So he actually thinks players that get revenue-sharing money, schools are going to be able to do contracts with them because the university's giving them this money. So here he thinks, why not do a multi-year contract if you got a star player? Do a multi-year contract. Here's your revenue share. Here it is. Revenue share, he says, is going to keep on going up because there's more and more money in sports, college sports. He said it's going to grow every year. Here's your multi-year deal, and then put a buyout in there. And then he said you won't have any more of these, not as many transfers. Do we believe this is how it's going to play out? I don't think anybody really knows. My honest take. This is an interesting thing. He says this new deal will allow players to get their money, schools to lock them down. You're not going to have as much transfer portal mess. We can only hope, Jay. We'll see. That's an interesting take. I don't know if schools are going to be willing to do multi-year deals. I really don't. It's like, well, maybe they should. I don't know if they'd be willing to do that. Hey, let's get going. It is a Wednesday with this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Are we ready tonight? 5 questions from Chris. Do I have any good answers, Chris? You tell me. Let's go. Question number 1. Nate, the Men's World Cup begins 1 year from now in the USA. Last night, the U.S. team played a friendly match against Switzerland and lost. Looked confused. U.S. team is 5-5 under this new coach who took over last year after we got eliminated in the first round of Copa America. This group of players is being labeled as some of the best U.S. soccer players in 100 years on the men's national team. How worried or concerned should fans of U.S. soccer be? It's interesting you bring this up, Chris, right? We were talking a little U.S. men's soccer tonight at the beginning of the show. I think we should be very concerned. Well, we don't have Pulisic. We don't have Dest. We don't have McKinney. I mean, I'm going through these players. They all didn't play last night. That's why we lost. I think we lose too much. In men's soccer, we lose too much for having all of the resources, all of the training, supposedly the best of the best. Will we get bounced in the World Cup? And look out. We don't want to get bounced before the knockout stage. We got to get ready here. World Cup coming to the U.S. I think we should be concerned about our men's national team. We'll see. I've always been concerned. We haven't beat a team from Europe in forever. Question number 2. In the next few weeks, there's a lot of interesting sporting events, niche sporting events. Tour de France, Wimbledon in London, U.S. Open tomorrow. Is there any niche sporting event you would love to witness? What do you mean, out of these, Chris? It's talking Wimbledon, U.S. Open, Tour de France? I guess I'd go Wimbledon. You get to go to London. I've been to PGA. I haven't been to the U.S. Open. So I like that. Tour de France, I can't do it. It would be interesting for what? A minute? 2 minutes? The cyclists driving by you and you try and stay out of the way. You make sure none of those guys go crazy and wreck the cyclists. There's not much to see there, Tour de France. Am I missing? Some listener said you should watch the Tour de France live. What am I missing? So what's a niche sporting event? I guess I would try Wimbledon. I've never been to a massive tennis tournament. It's not quite my thing. I do love the PGA Championship. I've been there a couple of times. Question number 3. Speaking of the U.S. Open, it's at Oakmont in Pennsylvania tomorrow. Most professional golfers say it's the hardest course in the rotation of the U.S. Open courses. There's only a few trees on the course, but it has 175 bunkers. Hole number 1 is the most difficult. Many think the favorite of winning the U.S. Open should be Scottie Scheffler. If Scheffler wins the U.S. Open this week, is it a good thing for golf? He's been winning, but he isn't the most marketable golfer. Scotty Scheffler is kind of the man's man. He's not marketable, though, because he doesn't really want to be, I feel like. So he's not Tiger. He's just not. There's other golfers that even have bigger marketing personas than him, but Scotty's like the best of the best right now. Is this a good thing for golf? I think it's okay. I don't think mainstream America's like, man, Scotty Scheffler's a star, but they like Scotty. So he's likable. He's not a superstar. It's like, what does it remind me of? Mike Trout. It's like Mike Trout, best player in baseball back in the day. Best player in baseball. You didn't dislike him. You didn't think he was a star. I never saw Mike Trout jerseys walking around South Dakota. I don't think people are going to be impersonating Scotty Scheffler like they did Tiger. It's okay for golf. Is that a good answer? It's not good for golf. It's okay for golf. He's a good guy. Question number 4. At this point of the baseball season, we can see each teams, the teams that are going to be factors for the postseason. The Dodgers starting pitching, though, is one of their weaknesses. Shohei Ohtani could be pitching once again. If you were in the front office for the Dodgers, how much and how many innings do you want Ohtani to be pitching? I don't want him pitching much. I love the two-way player, but you asked me if I'm in the Dodgers front office. I don't want him pitching much. Last time we did that, we had a problem, a big one. So he's so important offensively. He is the team offensively. The pitching once every, 6 games? I don't know. I guess, but I don't want to end up in a mess. I don't need one win in the middle of July. I need Ohtani in the postseason, hitting. So I'm not pitching him much. I wish he could go both ways. Coming off this injury here, I'm not pitching him much. I'm a wuss. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. It seems Kevin Durant could be the first NBA star to be traded this offseason. San Antonio Spurs might be interested. My question, Nate, is should the Suns trade him for the best possible return, like the Spurs' second pick? Or do you trade him to an Eastern Conference team, get him out of the West, and get less in return? I don't care about trading him in the West. I honestly do not, Chris. If the Spurs are going to give you the second pick, which I doubt, but if they're going to give you the second pick, I'll do that today. Kevin Durant, second pick, or let's say Wolves. If the Wolves give you some stuff, send them to the Wolves. I don't care if it's in the West. The NBA's, it doesn't matter too much anymore, West, East. You've got to go through teams in the West. I mean, you're going to be fine. I'm not worried about it's not like the NFL where you wouldn't trade Mahomes to the Raiders. It's not like that. So get the best in return. Who's going to get Kevin Durant? You guys want him? Timberwolves fans? You want KD? I like KD. He's a baller. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Mike McCulley is next. He is the new Rapid City Central head football coach. His plan and vision for this program that's trying to get off the ground next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Your home deserves a better hello. Swing into summer with a brand new entry or patio door. Get 20% off every door plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Enjoy an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. That's up to 25% in savings on an upgrade your home will thank you for. But hurry, these hot summer deals won't last long. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
.com. Eating in Deadwood has so many options thanks to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Wake up with the trusted taste of Starbucks or sit down to a full breakfast at Best Brews. Looking for lunch? Build a wonderfully fresh sandwich from Jersey Mike's. Grab some quick and cheesy goodness from Pizza Hut or pull up a chair in Patty O'Neill's Irish Pub. Need something a little more intimate for dinner? Well, Snitches is all the buzz with an evolving menu of chef-designed culinary creations. There's something for everyone to eat at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Cloudy skies expected tonight with a slight chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 56. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 69. Slight chance for storms tomorrow night 56. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 77.
It's officially patio season in downtown Rapid City, and there's no better place to soak up the sun and the good vibes than at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina. Tacos, tequila, burritos, and beer, and good vibes all day long. Que Pasa is your hometown hangout, and we have a smoking deal for you. Mention you heard Rob on the radio and score a $2.99 house margarita any day, anytime. Limit 1 per customer per day, so don't miss out. Offer available for a limited time. Swing by, sip something special, and celebrate the season at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, I told you it's a Brian Wilson tribute show. You have to do it. A visionary, a brilliant guy when it comes to the history of music. This guy was the real deal. Brian Wilson, Beach Boys founder, co-founder, passed away today, 82 years old. The great Brian Wilson, outstanding. I was a Beach Boys guy. I listened to the Beach Boys. My brother got me into that, and I will thank him. Quality. All right. Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. We cover high school sports, you know that, across South Dakota. And we've covered high school football. There's been some changes along the way. We had Brandon Colpitz on. He steps down to be a volunteer assistant. At least that was the plan initially. And so Rapid City Central football looking for a new head coach. They have one, and we've got him tonight on South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Radio. It's Mike McCulley. He's the Rapid City Central head football coach, and he joins us on the Pizza Ranch studio hotline. Coach, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate your time, man. So, a little history. I want to make sure the audience knows, like, okay, where's Coach coming from? What's the story? You were at Central before, and then the past 7 years, you've been a defensive assistant. You've been coaching corners at South Dakota Mines. So I'll just ask this up front. Why do you want to get back in the high school ranks here at Central?
The program's just in a really great spot. Brandon was doing such a great job, and those assistant coaches, they got the guys moving in the right direction and looking at the program and all the experience I've had. And, I've got some kids kind of coming up, and I've coached at Central, other sports, baseball and stuff along the way, and just caring a lot about the kids that are in the building, not just football players, but kids in general. Some continuity would be really great, and so I felt like I could add that to the program.
All right, so you're going to take over head coach at Rapid City Central. How much does it benefit you, Coach? I'm curious about this. Do you think of you being there prior?
I really think that benefits me a ton. To be completely honest, going through it from the beginning level, started out as a freshman coach, then working up to the sophomore and JV, and then varsity assistant stuff. It's really helped me a ton. Just understanding, what it takes to run a program at all levels, not just one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mike McCulley joins us. He's the new Rapid City Central head football coach. He was a prior assistant for the Cobblers. Then he's been an assistant on the defensive side for South Dakota Mines. How about the college football side? What's it been like being with Coach Floor in the college football program?
Coach Floor came in, and it really showed me how, when I become a head coach, to come into a program that's going to retain some coaches. He didn't come in and have some crazy interview process and swing an axe and cut a bunch of people. He really just sat us down and said, hey, what are we doing well? What do we need? How can I help you? And just facilitated, this isn't going to be a hostile takeover. We're just going to get after it. Coaching the defensive side of the football, just been, I've been on the field, up in the box, just having to dissect and analyze what teams are trying to do, where are they trying to put you in conflict. And the college game is a faster rate of play. So I feel like that's just going to help us when we start breaking down film and analyzing what teams are doing.
You said Central football's in a pretty good place. I think some listeners would say, well, they haven't won hardly any games. I know what you're saying. I think what you're saying, I've had Coach Colpitz on. He's done a good job. This has been a culture change. This has been trying to get this thing going, and I think he's just starting to get it going. What do you think he's done there?
What he did is he instituted a culture change, and he saw it through the bumps and hiccups that are when you're starting something years 1 and 2 in a program and instituting that culture change. About just before you can even start worrying about winning, you gotta take every day and compete. And that's a motto I've lived by and had coaches put in my life as well. Is before you can even worry about winning on Fridays, what are you doing to win in the off season? What are you doing to win in summer? And he got kids really believing into that. The senior group that is here, there's about 17, 18 kids, and they've kind of taken it and tried to lead by their own example and lead as players, not as us adults telling them what to do, but they've taken the leadership on. And that's a culture that if we can foster that and keep that rolling, amazing things are ahead of us.
Rapid City Central head football coach just took the job, Mike McCulley. He joins us on the Nate Brown Show. He's been an assistant 7 years at South Dakota Mines, corners coach over there. So you go into Central, you had the experience before. I want to know how you're going to sell your program. You said Colpitz has the senior class is a good leadership here. How do you sell kids on getting excited about playing at Central when they've only won one game the past couple of years?
The biggest thing is you got to get excited and you want to compete. I'm just going to bring competition into every phase of what we do. Competing in practice every day, competing in the weight room, doing all those things, getting kids hyped up and proud of something. It's really hard to commit to anything if you're not going to be willing to be vulnerable and be proud of it. And we're gonna put a product out on the field that people are going to be proud of. We're going to turn some heads. Football is a game that was invented by somebody who was kind of mean, and that's the way it's got to be played. And that's kind of what I want to bring back to Central a little bit. Regardless of your X's and O's, we're going to line up across from you, spot the ball. Let's go play football, and let's just get after it.
Do you think this is going to be a hard job?
I'm excited about the challenge. It's going to push me a little bit, being in an assistant role as long as I have. It's gonna challenge me to just make sure that my communication is on point and delegate things more often, and then just make sure that I surround myself with people that have the same goals and the same values and want the same thing for the program that I do.
Have you thought about keeping your assistants, or are you going to kind of go through those meetings? How do you think the coaching staff looks?
I'm really excited about the staff. It's a great staff. We've got, over 100 years of coaching experience when you add it all up. Some guys, college athletes, some some college athletes, coached a little bit of college. We've just got a variety. And, so I'm keeping the staff. We are full steam go. I mean, they went down to Chadron last week or early June and competed their butts off, and I guess looked really great. Been trying to break that film down today, just getting a grasp on what we were doing well and making some notes. But, it's really great things going.
Mike McCulley joins us, Rapid City Central head football coach, talking Cobbler football. He's the new man running the show, taking over for Brandon Colpitts. Last one, Coach. How much does it take from players to compete in AAA football? Sioux Falls, these schools they're training players. It's a football town. And how much does it take? Do Central players know how much it takes?
I think they are. They've gone in and they've gone toe-to-toe with some Sioux Falls schools. And, we had some programs a little further back that did the same thing. The biggest thing is, can you get the right kids out? Can you keep them out? And a lot of the stuff that happens to be successful in any sport is, what are you willing to do when others aren't looking? Like, are you willing to put in a little bit, 5 minutes of extra film? Are you going to go put in an extra workout? Those things that you're willing to do on your own are the difference makers. And we've got kids that are driven, and we've got kids that want to do that.
Okay, you've been a defensive guy, so what's the plan here at Central? You going to run the defense? You want somebody to run the offense? What's the plan?
Right now, the plan is I'm gonna go ahead and call the offense, and then Coach Cooper, he's going to keep calling the defense. He did a great job last year, and that's how we're going to roll. Everybody's going to stay in their positions that they were at, and I called them yesterday after the news broke and let them know, there's not going to be mass interviews. I'm not going to be flopping everybody around. This thing's headed in the right direction. Let's just pick up the reins and keep going.
Coach, do you use Brandon Colpitts as a sounding board? He was going to kind of volunteer when he can. Is that going to be hard?
I don't think it's going to be very hard at all. The guy's really dedicated to the football program at Central. It's not he's dedicated to this is my thing and my stamp. He just wants to see these kids succeed. He's a great leader of men, and he's going to go on to really great things. And I told him he can be around as much as he wants to. He's done a lot of great stuff. I had a freshman there this year, and he absolutely idolized him. And you walk through the building and you talk to anybody, and they know who Colpitts is, they know what he's about, and you would be dumb to not have a guy that moves people like that be a part of your program.
Well, great to talk to you, Coach. I'm excited about the new chapter of Cobbler football. You're back in at Central. Head coach now for the Cobblers, Mike McCulley, who joins us on the Nate Brown Show in his first interview. Coach, we'll talk to you again. Good luck through the summer.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Have a great summer.
Appreciate it. Mike McCulley on the Nate Brown Show. Rapid City Central, new head football coach. He was an assistant there a while back, and then he's been an assistant at South Dakota Mines for the Hard Rockers, most recently with Coach Floor. I like Coach Floor. He does a nice job. And now taking back over at Rapid City Central, first time as head coach. He was an assistant there. He'll run the offense. Coach Cooper running the defense. New chapter of Cobbler football, starting with Mike McCulley, the new head coach for the Cobblers. Tough road. They haven't won a lot, but he says, look at these guys, 17, 18 seniors. 17, 18 seniors he thinks can make some noise a little bit this year. Coming right back, Mike Mendelson. He's a PGA pro, Elkhorn Ridge. I want his picks for the U.S. Open. Starts tomorrow. We'll talk a little golf next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Hey golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at rapidchevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
We've had a Beach Boys Fest today. The great Brian Wilson passing away today. Rest in peace, 82 years old. One of the all-time music visionaries. Just brilliance. I don't know how he did it. How did he do it? Pet sounds. Just unbelievable. The Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Wednesday edition of the program. Packed tonight. Good stuff across the board. Some great guests tonight. Our next, talking golf with a PGA Pro, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club, Spearfish. Great course. Outstanding. I'm getting ready to play it. Man. Elkhorn Ridge. Get your tee time, Elkhorn Ridge Resort. Mike Mendelson's the pro. Let's talk U.S. Open starts tomorrow. Oakmont. Mike, good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing good, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you tell me this U.S. Open course. Like, U.S. Opens are hard. I mean, people know that if you follow golf, so they're tough. Is Oakmont, like, really, really tough?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably, like, in the top, couple hardest. You got Shinnecock and Oakmont, and, it's going to be a real test for sure.
Okay, Tiger just said the guys that can hit it far are going to be in good shape. Far and irons. How does it play? How do you see it?
Well, I mean, there's two schools of thought. Like, in the U.S. Open, I think, you're looking for people that hit it straight. But also, like, with the extreme power, if they hit it into the rough, like, they can kind of get it out, like, further. Like, if you're, hitting a pitching wedge into something instead of like a 7-iron or something, it's going to be easier to get out of the rough. And I think that's the that's where you're just kind of like, bombing it. If they hit one into the rough, like if they're bombing it, then, they're hitting wedges out or, lower irons out instead of like longer irons. So I think that's the, kind of like bomb and gouge. I mean, so when you're looking to get those guys, I think you're looking either like really straight hitters or people that just hit it really long.
Okay, that's my game, bomb and gouge. Not quite bomb, but the other way, bomb and gouge. But all right, Mike Mendelson on tonight, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Pro, talking U.S. Open. It's at Oakmont, so tough course. Now, Scotty Scheffler, you and I have talked about him. Would you say he's the favorite? I just saw this number. More people have bet on Scotty Scheffler than everybody else combined. What do you say?
I mean, like, over the last, 6 weeks, I don't know how you wouldn't say he's the favorite. Like, listening to Brandel Chambly on the Dan Patrick show today, I mean, he wasn't taking the field, or he wasn't taking Scotty over the field, but he said, give him, 5 guys, and he would take Scotty over those 5. So it's like he's a decided favorite for sure. I mean, it's just a matter of, whether he... And I think his attitude, right, is probably the best thing about him. Like if he makes a double bogey, I don't think it, phases him or something. He's just unflappable and he just keeps going. And I think it's gonna, somebody's gonna have a bad hole throughout the 4 days for sure. So it's gonna have to be someone that's gonna be able to come back from it. And I think he's really good at that.
So I was asked this question tonight: can Scotty Scheffler be the face of golf? Can he be the marketing face of golf? I said, I think people really like Scotty, but it's like Mike Trout in baseball. It's just like he just does his thing. Can he be the guy in golf?
I mean, I think that's where I think he is just not really exciting, right? Even when he wins by 5 shots like he did in the PGA, in the tournaments, it's just not. It's methodical the way he wins. It's not just blowing doors off people, and he's not real flashy in interviews and things like that. And so I think, I think he would be a great face for golf. I think it's, he's real steady, a real good person, good human being. But, I think everybody wants something more exciting because what we had with Tiger was just totally different for golf, right? But Scotty is not. And I think, it would be a real steady person to have there, but I think everybody wants, especially in the media, they want good stories, and the best story he's had is when he had to get stitches for making ravioli with a wine glass. So, or when he got put in jail, I guess.
Yes, that was another highlight.
Maybe he's got a little excitement.
All right, not much, but a little bit. Mike Mendelson in tonight, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Resort in Spearfish. Play there this summer. It's the place for Fox Sports. So you say Scotty's the favorite. Who else are we looking at as we get started tomorrow? Who else do you think? You always give me some, you don't have to go deep, but who's going to make a run here?
On hard golf courses, I really always Tommy Fleetwood. I really do think he is a really good ball striker, hits it really straight, kind of just muds his way through it. I think, I would look for him to be up there. I mean, he has never won on the PGA Tour, but, he plays the majors pretty well, and I think a hard golf course kind of brings people back to him a little bit. Maybe he's not going to be the guy that's going to win at 22, 23 under, so maybe something that's going to be around par or, maybe a couple under or even a couple over. I think he's going to be right there. So that's one I would look to. Obviously, DeChambeau, he's been real solid in the majors, won the U.S. Open last year. And then, people that have won the U.S. Open, and he's one of the longest guys out there is Wyndham Clark. I think you would look at him. He hasn't really played really well this year, but, he hits it a long ways, and he's won a U.S. Open. He knows what it takes, kind of some of those guys I think would, I look at there. I don't know. I'm having a hard time getting behind Rory in this one, just especially as how bad he played at the Canadian Open. But he's one of the longest guys out there, but he hasn't been hitting his driver well. He hasn't been hitting it in the fairway. He's had some trouble in the last couple of events. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. I'm not really behind him. And then I really do. Also, one of the top guys, Xander Schauffele, I think is, we're looking for him to kind of bust out here. So we'll see what happens there too. He's a real straight hitter, good iron player. But
some of the picks from Mike Mendelson tonight. I always want his picks. U.S. Open starts tomorrow, Oakmont, Pennsylvania. Mike Mendelson, Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club Pro. Hit Elkhorn Ridge in Spearfish this summer. Voted South Dakota's #1 public golf course. Mike, good to have you, man. Enjoy the week.
Hey, Nate, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Hopefully my picks go better than they did in the PGA.
All right. We'll do our best. Golf's impossible. Golf is impossible to pick. That's why I try to talk to guys that know golf. But it's even tough for him to pick. That's some interesting takes. Mike Mendelson on tonight. Our favorite course at Fox Sports Radio is Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club in Spearfish. Great 18-hole championship layout. Hit Elkhorn Ridge. Get your tee time. Elkhorn Ridge Resort. All right, who's hot and who's not? Yeah, I saw this one coming. The House settlement case was decided, right? We've been talking about it the last couple of days. There's going to be revenue sharing. Everybody's happy, right? I saw this one coming. One of the big lawsuits already on the books. Who's hot and who's not on the way?
This is the Nate Brown Show.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in South Dakota so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Remember when life was simple? Nope, me neither. The summer sun may feel great to us, but summer heat takes its toll on your vehicle. Don't risk your family's vacation fun by ignoring vehicle maintenance. When it comes to your vehicle maintenance or repair, keeping it simple is easy. The ASE certified technicians at Al's D&I can make sure your car is in top running condition. Maintenance now or fix it later. Most vehicles, most years, and most countries. Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Cloudy skies expected tonight with a slight chance for scattered thunderstorms. Lows dip down to about 56. Winds out of the east 5 to 10 miles per hour. A blend of clouds and sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 69. Slight chance for storms tomorrow night 56. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 77.
Hi, I'm Bill at Wire for USA. If you're looking for internet, TV, security systems, or cell booster systems, why would you look at a company that only gives you one choice for each of these systems? Wire for USA offers it all. Viasat, Hughes, CenturyLink, Dish TV, DirecTV, Wilson cell booster systems, and now Starlink and EchoStar internet systems. Starlink and EchoStar are the newest, the fastest, and the strongest satellite internet made. No limit, no contract. Wire for USA has it. Call 605-341-5361. Whatever your home or business needs are, call Wire for USA for the products and the service. You don't need training wheels with our system. Connect to the future with Wire for USA at 605-341-5361. We are hometown, we are South Dakota, and we do appreciate your business. 605-341-5361. See us at our new location, 710 North La Crosse Street in Rapid City.
The hottest wins are at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resorts. Blaze into big wins with over $80,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs, including your chance to drive off in a 2025 Chevy Trailblazer. Win $300 prize packages every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight, plus a $1,000 prize package at midnight. So qualify today and save the date for the grand prize drawing on Saturday, July 19th. big wins all summer long at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort in Deadwood. How will your night play out?
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on tonight, Fox Sports Radio, your home for South Dakota Sports Talk Show, weekday afternoon drive. Thanks for being here. A reminder, if you miss some of the show every day, you can't catch all 2 hours. What's going on? You have a life, we understand. So we have the podcast available. When we wrap up the live show, we have the podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Search The Nate Brown Show, and then you can download the podcast and get the great guests. Good insight from John Schemmel Monday, the USD Athletic Director, in this House settlement thing. Some good stuff today from Chris Danker on youth sports and basketball. Sam Herder joined us talking FCS. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast if you missed some of the show. And Rapid City Central has a new head football coach, and we just had him on. Who's hot and who's not? Let's do that. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Also in Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City. The home of everyone's favorite buffet by far, the Pizza Ranch. Who's hot and who's not every night at this time of the Nate Brown Show? Let's go to the Who's Hot category. We just got this headline from Front Office Sports. The Missouri legislature has approved a new stadium funding bill for the Chiefs and the Royals. So, call me fair and balanced. I'm a Broncos fan. You know this. And I just put the Chiefs in my Who's Hot. It's the first time in history. I feel okay. You guys need a new stadium. It's fine. We have the rich owners anyway. We probably don't need public funding, right? Oh, anyway. Chiefs, Royals are going to get the new stadium funding bill from the Missouri legislature. They've approved it, and the bill goes to the governor. He is expected to sign it, because he did not want the Chiefs to leave over to Kansas. They want to keep them in Missouri. So Chiefs, Royals, new stadium funding bill clears a hurdle there. That'll go to the governor. In our Pizza Ranch, who's not tonight? NCAA House settlement case. There's all this lawsuits and everything. Everything's going to be fine now, right? It's all settled. We're going to revenue share with the players. That certain sports are going to get the money. Athletes are going to get it. It's all good. New lawsuit on the books today. A collection of women's sports athletes are planning to appeal the court decision. They say it violates Title IX. I mean, I see this stuff coming. You can see this stuff coming from a mile away. They're saying, well, you can't give like 75% of it to football. So like, for example, Texas Tech has already said they're like going to give 74% to football athletes. They're like, well, that's where the revenue comes in. So we're going to give the money to the football players. Well, guess what? The women's players, and it's not specifically Texas Tech, but I'm just telling you, the women's athletes are saying, I don't think so. You're going to have this worked through, and I knew this stuff was going to happen. So the payments are supposed to start July 1st. Payments are supposed to start July 1st. And you think this is just going to go off without a hitch? So, yeah, there's a host of women's college athletes. This started at the College of Charleston. The College of Charleston, where some of these athletes, now they've added Virginia, Vanderbilt. Some of these players say, we support the settlement, but it's not an accurate one. Violates Title IX. So heads up on that. How are they going to make this all fair, and how is this going to work? If it's running like a business, that's what college people wanted, I guess. Good luck. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show Wednesday edition. Busy one tonight. The Nate Brown Show podcast going up right now. We'll see you back here tomorrow for happy hour.
Still looking for something for Dad this Father's Day? Stop by Fleet